Hello everyone, it's Jira Bro back with another video, and today's topic we're gonna be talking about the assets and configuration management in Jira Service Management. Now the question is what the assets would be. Translated in a plain language, those are basically like objects. So let's take an example. Right, let's say that you have a computer shop. And in your computer shop, you have like a small warehouse, right? And in that warehouse, you have like, let's say, like MacBook Pros, you have like some desktop PCs, you have some NVIDIA graphic cards, and other stuff that are related to the hardware. Now, you want to actually have, let's say, a record of all of these items within your computer shop. But you're thinking you should actually have this in a fast way. You don't want to create like a website or like an app that is going to be for your inventory. So you're thinking like, what are the alternatives right here? Well, there is a perfect solution for this, and these are the assets. This is where the assets actually come into the play. Now the thing is, in order to actually use the assets, you should be having the at least like Jira standard or even the premium, which is also a better option because you're also going to have more features tier. You can, at any time, you can sign up for 30 days of the free trial. You can actually cancel it at any time. But believe me, after this, I don't think you're going to cancel this because assets are gonna solve the problem that you're actually having right now. Alright, so the very first thing that we actually want to do is we want first to create the schema right here. And when we're actually creating the schema, we're getting templates. Just like when you're creating a new project in Jira and you're giving templates for software development, for the work management, for service management, and you select the templates for software development, which are like bug tracking or top level planning or Scrum or Kanban, which are, of course, the mostly used templates of all templates that are actually in there. So we have for the IT asset management, which should be the closest thing in here. But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say I want to create a schema from the start, right? And I'm going to say computer shop. All right, and also it's going to have its key, and I'm going to create the schema. Now, when I create the schema, the most important thing is within this schema, I actually want to have, well, the insight on everything that I actually have within my, well, warehouse. So what I'm going to add here is going to be the object type. Now for the object type, what I want to say, it's going to be MacBook Pro. I'm not going to define like which chip. Is it going to be M1, M2, or the latest one, M3? No, I'm just going to say, yeah, this is going to be, let me see if I can find the laptop in here. Ah, it was there. So it's one below. There we go. And then I'm gonna check this for the create another because automatically it gets created right here. So, and within this schema, I'm gonna say for the MacBook Pro. So that is one thing. The second thing that I want to create actually is going to be, let's say, NVIDIA. Now, let me see if I'm going to get, yeah, I'm gonna say like for electronics. And I'm gonna add a third one, and this is gonna be, let's say, Razer. And Razer is I believe that you guys actually heard this maybe at least once. The Razer company that actually creates all sorts of stuff that are of course exclusive and meant for gamers. And it's for the headphones. It's even they got their laptops. So it's a pretty nice company. So let me see here. There are a lot of stuff. Let me see if I can find something that is appropriate. No, this is gonna be Razer headphones, right? Because I want to be specific here. Okay. I don't think that there are actually some headphones. Just let us choose anything, just not to waste any time. Let's go with, I'm gonna go with mind map. Oh well. Yeah, 3 projects are gonna be enough. So let us go for our MacBook Pro right here. Okay. So the very first thing is like, yes, you have created this project object, but within one object you can create more objects. Now the very first thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is these attributes right here. Now these attributes are actually in here when you're creating your object. When you go to your create object, these screens, these fields right here are actually being shown, just like name, for example. And you have like key, and then you have created, and then you have updated. By default, key, created, and updated fields are actually not being shown in here. And as you can see, for the name, this is actually defined as the mandatory field, because this needs to be, well, filled out in order for an object to be created. Now, what are we having here? So I'm gonna say, yeah, if this is like the unique, and this is what it says, to validate attribute values to be unique within the object type, I'm gonna say, nah, not really. So what I wanna add here. So first of all, CPU. And for the CPU, I just want this to be a type value of the text. I don't want to change any types in here. I can if I want to, but it's not going to be needed in this use case. So what you can actually choose from here is either the object, user group, project, status, or even the Bitbucket repository. In our use case, we do not actually need any of these. But imagine if you're having like the team structure, right? Where you want to create the structure of your team, and you want to say, well, you want to say for each team member within your team, you want to define their role, who their manager is, what their seniority is, and on what project they're actually working on. So that is going to be another use case where you can actually use this. So for example, if we're defining a new user of name John Smith, and if we say that he's a front-end developer, and also that his seniority is actually the senior, and for the manager as well, we can then choose this option of a user, and then we can say, yeah, he's working on a project X, for example. One thing to note here, when it comes to project, you can add one project. So, just to keep that in mind. Okay, so we can go with the CPU, for example. I can say quantity. How much of these laptops do we have? And I'm gonna say this is gonna be an integer. So I'm gonna add this. And for example, I'm gonna say, does it have any graphics card or not? So I'm gonna say that as well. So now when I'm creating an object, now what I have is going to be the name. And when I have the MacBook Pro, I can say MacBook Pro Intel, for example, because it's gonna have the Intel CPU. And I'm going to say i9 core with, let's say, 3.2 gigahertz. We're gonna have 5 of those, and the GPU, and we're gonna say none. Okay, it's gonna have the integrated GPU. So now what we have, when you go for the MacBook, you can see MacBook Pro Intel. And for the MacBook Pro Intel, we can say, yeah, this is the CPU. We have quantity of 5 of those, and the GPU is basically like none, right? And when you actually sell one, you can update. You can say, now I have the quantity of 4. But this is actually pretty great when you have the option to actually have an insight of your assets that you can actually add. So for this specific use case, we're actually adding hardware. You can have your team structure for your developers, for your finance team, for all of those teams, which is actually pretty great. So now, if computer shops, for example, want to actually have the overview of their inventory, they can use the Jira Service Management assets. And with this is like a game changer. All right, so yeah, that is it that I had to show for my video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and of course comment. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Bye bye.